Acala, I hope I said that correctly. I even Google translated it. But their stablecoin fell 99% after hackers issue 1.3 billion in tokens. So basically, Acala is a Polkadot-based DeFi token, and its stablecoin aUSD depegged 100% after hackers exploited a bug in a newly deployed liquidity pool to mint approximately 1.28 billion tokens. Devs said the bug was caused by a misconfiguration of I think it's IBTC/aUSD liquidity pool. Then it just went live yesterday. And the company apparently asked white hat hackers to return funds to Polkadot or Moonbeam addresses. Analysis also pointed out that multiple others used or also allegedly stole $1,000 worth of DOT from the pool. So basically, it's another stablecoin that has depegged. I do not like stablecoins right now. I hate all stablecoins. I'm against all of them. And I really, this just kind of goes back to what I was saying, that people like to push devs and like to rush all these upgrades, these merges, all this tech development in the space. And they fail to realize if you do not spend enough time and you don't back test, you don't follow protocol, bugs happen, issues happen. So again, I just want to remind the audience, just because you're very excited about a project and let's say the team takes a little bit of a delay to release new tech or to upgrade, whatever it is, please be patient with them unless it's kind of scammy. Like obviously call it out, but just be patient with them because stuff like this happens and we don't want it to happen. I'm going to toss this over to Jen for her thoughts.
What a firm position on stablecoins, Wendy. I just imagined like that clip of you being like, I hate stablecoins being played by regulators sometime down the line. But I'll pause on regulators right now and talk about some of the conversation that was going on Twitter. So while people were upset about the effect that this has on retail, they pointed towards the fact that the team froze the newly minted tokens and were asking questions around, is this actually decentralized? So one Twitter user said, I think it would have to go to governance to be decentralized finance if Acala centrally controls that decision. Centrally controls that decision. Is this really DeFi? And I think this brings us back to the conversation, right? With true decentralization comes great responsibility. And we have to remember in true decentralization, we can't freeze stolen assets. We can't take precautions like we saw maybe happen here. I'm not sure about the ins and outs that happen behind the scenes, but what is being alleged on Twitter is that the funds were frozen by pausing the network. If we're able to do that, then it's not true decentralization. So I think, this just brings up the conversation that we should be aware of. Secondly, I think that the last 6 months have been really horrible for stablecoins, and we will be sure to hear this exact story come out of the mouths of regulators in months to come as they try to get a hold on the stablecoin industry. But Zach, off to you.
Asset-backed stablecoins looking pretty good. Who'd have thunk it? Tether looking like a real solid foundation of the crypto ecosystem after years of Tether FUD being circulated every which way. So you have, I think, these this narrative sea change, right, where these non-asset-backed stablecoins are having a rough go of it, right? So by comparison, USDC, USDT, even DAI, which is asset-backed, crypto collateralized, is looking pretty steady. And I think, again, more examples to have this conversation, more opportunities to have this conversation should be useful overall to the industry in the long term as it relates to stablecoin regulation. It does impose sort of that additional layer of centralized censorship risk, right? These are basically banks that can freeze funds, comply with OFAC sanctions and whatnot. So there is that dream, I think, among the cypherpunks and other people in the space who say, well, you know what, like if we're going to build DeFi, we shouldn't build centralized stablecoins into them. On the other hand, all these decentralized stablecoins keep like messing up and finding major problems and making people lose money. So I think there is this sort of tension that is unfolding in the wake of Terra, in the wake of Luna, and then we see these additional examples of some of these more exotic stablecoin options not really living up to the stable in the stablecoin moniker and causing traders such as Wendy to get extremely frustrated with the concept of stablecoins and just angry and just facepalm about stablecoins continuing to lose peg and run into challenges. These are experimental technologies, and these challenges keep popping up. So whether or not the conversation will reach some ideal state where there is the nuance that applies to asset-backed versus, again, more exotic stablecoins will be something that we need to keep an eye out for. But Wendy, tossing it to you.
I love that you said exotic stablecoins. I don't think I've ever heard to a cryptocurrency be referred to as an exotic item, but that was great. And again, I just want to remind the audience, you guys, everything in crypto right now is literally still in beta. Even Bitcoin is still in beta. Bitcoin was created for, recessions, inflation, et cetera. So we're actually going to be put to the test. We're going to see if Bitcoin can be that tool that can hopefully help people, get some sort of self-sovereignty, liberty, whatever that may be, however you want to utilize your Bitcoin. But again, you guys, we're still in beta with every single aspect of Bitcoin, crypto, NFTs. So I think that we just all need to do a better job at practicing risk management and understanding that things can go to zero super fast.